And I'm getting really sick of guys named Todd. You know, yeah, it's just a goofy name, okay? Hi, what's your name? Todd. I'm Todd.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Tonight on the show, I was made aware of a fashion trend that is making a comeback. And I never fell victim to it because I think it's not really my thing. But I got thinking about that because today is National School Picture Day. And I posted a bunch of pictures, class pictures, the full docket, K through 12, of yours truly on my Facebook. And if you check them out, you will certainly see some fashions that maybe not the greatest. So we're going to talk about that. Also, I have a question about VHS tapes. Do you still have VHS tapes from the 80s, the 90s, maybe even into the early 2000s? Because some of these are valuable. And I don't know how many people really kept these. Also, shark encounters, and we have an idiot of the week to talk about. Has to do with somebody putting charges on a business card, and they got busted for it. And I'm curious to know if anybody would be willing to admit some weird sort of purchase that you made on a business card that maybe was pushing the line, or maybe you got busted. Because this guy, he got busted. But first, we got Parker Testa. He's got traffic for us.
Yeah, we got about 15-minute delays in both directions of 75. There's a crash holding up the left contraflow lane on northbound 75, as well as the left lane of southbound 75 near Dryden Road. So if you're headed south, you can get off there in downtown Dayton at Main Street, take the surface streets through downtown, down to Dixie Drive to get back on southbound 75. If you're headed north, we have about 15-minute delays as well, so you can get off at Route 725, take 741 north in the Moraine, and that's where you can get back on southbound or northbound 75.
Thank you very much, Parker. I appreciate it. So here's this fashion trend that's making a comeback, and I saw this story in Harper's Bazaar, which, by the way, I never miss an issue. They're blaming this on Gen Zers. They're saying it's Gen Zers who are bringing back this fashion trend. And there's TikToks where, you know, and it's not just guys, it's also women. Now, I really remember these specifically as being a guy's fashion trend. I do remember some women wearing them, but generally it was a guy thing. And I'm talking about jorts. Jorts. Do you know what jorts are? It's the infamous mix of jeans and shorts. They're essentially jean shorts. Now, I don't remember them being called jorts, but I do remember the trend. And I think I may have had a pair of jean shorts. But these jean shorts that I'm talking about, they're not just like cutoffs. Okay? These are jeans that are shorts. And sometimes, most of the time, they come to your knee, sometimes even below your knee. And that is the trend right now. These jorts are making a comeback. And they were very popular, I guess, in the early 2000s. I kind of remember that. But they became popular. Let me back up. I remember wearing them in the 90s, and then early 2000s they kind of went away. So looking back at the fashion trends that maybe not have been the best choice to wear, and again, because today is National School Picture Day, when you look back at your school pictures, you see all kinds of crazy fashion trends that maybe you fell victim for at that time. And I have my top 5 that I want to mention.
Give me 5, man. I'll give you 5.
We're talking about 5.
There's 5, sir. I'll give you 5. 5 chubby digits.
I am guilty of all of these. Okay. Now, some of these are older than others. Some were just in the last 10, 15 years. Number one, I remember in high school, I had a mesh shirt. Remember the mesh shirts? They a very short sleeve, and you really could see nipplage through the shirt. And that was what guys were wearing. I think I fell victim to that a couple of times. I remember the one that I had was white. And if I'm not mistaken, I wore a gold chain from Avon, which was a nice look. This was sort of in the I think probably late 90s. Baggy cargo shorts and pants. Remember that? They were cargo pants. And then these are the pants that have the pockets all over the place. And you could get them in the shorts variety. You can get them in the long variety. Looking back, probably not the best look. Very, very sloppy, I thought. Very sloppy. Also, this was popular in the 80s, and I remember doing this quite a bit. Wearing multiple colored polo shirts at the same time. And you could have, 2, 3. I even remember four polo shirts. Now, I wasn't wearing the 4. I think the most I ever did was 2. But it would be maybe a bright color like a pink and then a black, right? You'd wear the black and the pink underneath, or white with red underneath. That was very popular. And looking back, what were we thinking? Affliction fashion. Now, Affliction was a brand, and this was sort of this, I don't know, late 90s, maybe more like early 2000s. It was like rock and roll wear. A lot of black, a lot of red, a lot of, scary looking logos, that kind of thing. Affliction was big. You still see it sometimes, and you wonder. And then probably my favorite that I loved, and you still see it from time to time, but these were everywhere. Do you remember the jeans that had embellished pockets, that had like rhinestones on the pockets and then a flap? And they were really distressed, and they were also very, very expensive. And I want to say it was like Lucky Brand, maybe. But those jeans, looking back, probably not the greatest fashion trend, though. I still see them. So there you go. If you have any fashion trend faux pas that maybe you fell victim to over the years, 937-457-1290, or maybe you would like to see them come back. I would love parachute pants to come back. Now, not the crazy parachute pants that like MC Hammer used to wear, because his were kind of the little real baggy, and I think sometimes they called them parachute pants. The crotch was really, really low. Not those. I'm talking about the ones from the 80s where they were parachute material, and they were pockets, much like the cargo shorts, but these were much sleeker. Very, very new wave. I would love to see those come back into style. I don't know that at 54 I could get away with wearing them, but by God, I would try. I would try. 937-457-1290. Jerry in Dayton, what's going on, Jerry?
Hello, Larry.
Oh, Larry, I'm sorry. My bad.
That's all right. I've been called Jerry all my life. My son brother's name. Two things. One, the bell bottoms. You forgot about bell bottoms. Those are big.
Yeah, and I don't remember if I wore bell bottoms. Here was the problem I had with bell bottoms. When they were popular during the 70s, okay, I was a husky kid, and my mom always put me in husky jeans, and she'd always get them longer so she could let the hem out as I got taller. So I never got the option, the opportunity to wear bell bottoms. But those are popular again.
Okay, but I got some on the credit card thing expense. I worked for a company. I hate to say who it was, but a guy wrote in an expense. He was in Chicago, and the wind came in and blew his $40 hat off.
Okay.
So he put it into his expense report. Lost hat, $40. Put it into his expense report. And it came back to him.
Yeah.
And we do not pay for personal items. Right?
Now, what if he had lost his toupee?
So, no, what he did was he rewrote the expense report because they didn't mark it or nothing. So he knew they didn't do anything to it. They didn't even make a copy of it.
Right.
So he rewrote the expense report, came out the same bottom line, same dollar amount that he turned the other one into, and he wrote on it, "The hat's in there, you find it." And they paid him for it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. The story that I've got, we're going to get to later this hour. It has to do with a high school soccer coach who went on a visit to a town, and he spent over $5,000 at a particular business, and he put it on his school credit card. So I'll leave that to your imagination to figure out. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate it. 937-457-1290.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up, folks.
Double D.
H.
Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
All righty. Hello, everybody. Clinton, how you doing? Hey, Josh. Kim, how are you? Let's see. Sabo, yeah. Haluski? Cabbage and noodles. Nipplage. Nipplage is the word. Oh, Jamie, bum equipment. I remember that. I had one or two bum equipment T-shirts. Those were very popular. In fact, I think I actually have recently. I bought some ankle socks. I like wearing ankle socks, and they say bum on them. And I think I got them at the Goodwill. They weren't used. They were new. But bum equipment, I guess, is still around. That's a good one. Well, Sabo, here's the thing. I remember there were two kinds of cargo pants. They were like I remember having a pair that they just fit like normal pants, right? Like normal khakis, and they had pockets on them, which, pockets on the side, along with the back and the front, but they were just on the side. But then there were these cargo pants that were really, really baggy. They were held up by like a fabric belt. And there were zipper pockets like on your shins, right? There was one on the side for like a pen or a pen. I mean, it was out of control. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, Mary Beth, tough skins, Huskies. I always thought if I wrote a book about my childhood, it would be My Mother Dressed Me in Husky. Hey, Ken and Selina, how you doing? Hey, Leslie, how are you? Hi, Heather. David, what's going on? Did anybody else wear those mesh shirts? See, guys were the only ones that could really wear it without obviously like something underneath, because the holes were big enough in those mesh shirts that if a woman wore them, well, she wasn't wearing a bra, everybody got a free show. Hey, Dina. How are you? But yeah, I remember those mesh shirts. How about you mentioned somebody mentioned bum equipment. What about Coca-Cola clothes? In fact, one of my class pictures, I'm wearing a Coca-Cola rugby shirt. That was real popular. Hey, Susan, how are you? Hi, Sharon. I'm doing well. How about you? How are you doing? Beautiful day here in the Miami Valley. Smells like fall. Oh, Larry, yes, OP shorts and shirts. And guess what? J.C. Penney has OP. At least they did at the beginning of the summer. They had, I don't know, they probably had like 3 or 4 different OP shirts and some shorts. Like, remember the corduroy shorts? I loved Ocean Pacific. Loved them. Clinton, fat guy suspenders. I only wore suspenders when I wore a suit. And I don't really wear suits that much anymore. Oh, how about Jam's shorts? Suspenders with sweats? Wow. That is quite the level of apathy. Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Ron just mentioned the Salem Mall. I remember going there, not all the time. We lived much closer to the Dayton Mall, but my aunt worked at that Lazarus. Reichs became Lazarus out there at the Salem Mall. And I remember going out there, because we're talking about crazy fashion trends. Some good, others not so good. But somebody mentioned on the live stream, I remember going out there and getting Ocean Pacific shirts. They always had OP shirts out at the Salem Mall, more so than they had at the Dayton Mall. And OP is back. They have them at J.C. Penney. 937-457-1290. Brian in Springfield. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Todd.
Hey.
I
I love the subject. Happy Friday's Eve to you, by the way.
Thank you.
So I was talking to your producer, and I wanted to remind you of a couple things, and you actually reminded me of another. First things first, do you remember peg legging the bottom of your pants?
Yes.
Where you,
Yeah. Yep.
pull them out, fold them over, and roll them up once or twice, and you were good to go. But to add to that, you had to have those. Do you remember the boat deck shoes?
Yes.
The all brown leather.
Yep.
It wasn't the shoes; it was the laces. The way that we used to tie them looked like a curly fry on the outside because you never tied them. You remember that?
Well, I remember that. I remember wearing your peg jeans with either the boat shoes or penny loafers.
Yeah.
Brown penny loafers.
And
yeah.
you had to have the penny in there, of course. The other thing that I just remembered was the No Fear shirts. Do you remember the T-shirts?
I do. I think those might have been. I probably missed that trend, but I kind of do remember the No Fear shirts.
And last but not least, because I'm also 51, so I'm close to you.
Yeah.
High school, you had to have a JanSport backpack. I mean, there was just no way around it.
Yep, that. And I also remember you said JanSports backpack. That reminded me of Jam's shorts. So the Hawaiian floral, thing that was happening.
Yep. Well, hey, I just wanted to remind you of those few elements, and keep up the great work, partner. I love the show.
Thank you.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Heather, I remember those hypercolor. I don't remember. Were those in the 80s? I kind of remember those in school, but I don't remember right offhand. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it had to have been I remember that in school. Hypercolor. When I was growing up, what I remember going to the Dayton Mall for were there were 3 stores that I went to. I can't remember the third one. We talked about this not long ago, but one was the merry-go-round. They had a lot of like I would just call it like new wave MTV clothing. That was very popular. Chess King. They had some pants that that I absolutely loved. They were the brand was Zachary Cavarici, and they were kind of like they had this real like narrow snug waist, and the waistband was probably like 2 or 3 inches wide, but then they flared out at the top, and they were baggy, but then they were tapered. And oh my God. And what's so funny was that there was a guy. I got to save this for the show. I got to talk about this. I got to save this for when I'm on the air. Hold on. And what was the other? There was what were the I forget what the name of the store was. It was a store down in the Dayton Mall. I think I might have posted some pictures of it. Did I? Let's see if I may have posted pictures of this like a week or so ago. I don't remember. Yeah, let me see. I gotta Google it. I can't think of the name of the. Daggone it. Men's Stores 1980s. Trying to remember. Let's see. What was it called? I'm looking. I'm trying to find something here. Come on. Oh man, I can't think of it. Driving me nuts. Hey Russell, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I can't think of it. I remember it because in the Dayton Mall, it was right next to Fredericks of Hollywood. Or no, I think it was the store that I'm talking about. Then it was Chick-fil-A and then Fredericks of Hollywood. It was a men's store. Fancy men's clothes. Trendy, but fancy. Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Saw a story today that jorts. Remember jorts? Jeans/shorts making a big comeback thanks to Gen Zers. I guess they stumbled across some photos of their parents or maybe even grandparents and said, hey, check out those jorts. And now they're popular again. So we're just kind of talking about crazy fashion trends, some that were great, some that maybe weren't so great. 937-457-1290. And I was trying to remember, there was a store at the Dayton Mall back in the 80s. There were 3 stores that I remember shopping at. Merry-Go-Round, which was sort of like a hip, trendy, new wave store. The Chess King. And there was a third, and I just can't remember. I can't remember it. I want to say it was in the Dayton Mall, and it was next to Chick-fil-A and a few doors down from Fredericks of Hollywood. I remember where that was. But I just can't think of the name of it. But there was a pair of pants that I remember buying there. And it was probably 1989. And honestly, they looked like feed bags. It had feed bag printing on it. And lo and behold, there is a picture of me wearing them at a radio station that I worked at back then. And I came across those pants a week or so ago. And I was showing my wife and I said, "Hey, do you know that picture?" And she goes, "Yeah." I go, "These are the pants that I was wearing." And she just looked at me like, "What on earth are you talking about?" Parker Testa's here. He's got some traffic.
Yep, we're still seeing the left contraflow lane of northbound 75 held up just south of Dryden Road. It's got that left lane of southbound 75 blocked as well. We're seeing about 25-minute delays backed up into downtown. You can get off at Main Street, take the surface streets south down to Dixie Drive to get back on southbound 75. If you're headed north, you can get off at Route 725 and take 741 north until it runs into I-75 in Moraine.
Thank you, Parker. I appreciate it. 937-457-1290. Tim in Beaver Creek. What's up, Tim?
Thursday evening traffic jam greeting.
Oh, no. Are you in the traffic jam?
I'm in the Contra lane. I've been here for an hour and 20 minutes. And while I was here, of course, there was a wreck on 75 North. And then another wreck happened right where I could see it I'm in the Contra lane. A car rear-ended another one, and plastic pieces blew everywhere.
Oh, no.
There's 2 wrecks over there.
Oh,
but I don't know why we haven't moved into Contra. They said it was a broken-down car, and once all the traffic north of it cleared, they should have been able to come down this single lane and clear it, but we're still here, and they're slowing down everybody else. So,
Tim, I just say put it in drive and hit the gas.
No,
let caution.
I'm in my brand new company car. So,
oh, okay, I got you.
I don't think. Of course, that isn't why I called.
Go for it. Let's hear it.
Did I tell you that I learned a valuable life lesson not to ever buy shoes from a drug dealer?
Yeah, I think you actually have told me this life lesson before, but go for it again. It's been a while.
Okay, well, I did last week. It was a big mistake. I don't know what those shoes were laced with, but I was tripping all day.
I know I've heard that one before. Thanks, Tim. 937-457-1290.
That's what I hear, Ron. Run. Take you, for example, Ron.
Ron, are you down there?
Run. Ron, please.
I got a question for you.
What's that?
Well, first and obvious, were you ever a jorts man? Did you wear jorts?
No, I didn't own any jorts, but I did own a No Fear t-shirt, though.
Oh, okay.
Did have that back in the early 90s.
Did it pair nicely with a pair of cargo pants?
I don't remember any cargo pants. I don't remember my government-issued battle dress uniform cargo pants.
There you go.
Back when
That's
I was
right.
in the Army.
You were a military guy, so you weren't allowed to wear stuff like that.
They issued a different set of cargo pants for me to wear.
Right. So here's my question. And I didn't intend for this to be sort of a walk back through nostalgia of the 80s and 90s. It just sort of happened that way with the stories that I found today. But did you hang on to any of your VHS tapes?
Yeah, you know what? I got a storage room down in the basement. I bet you I got a box down there with a bunch of VHS tapes.
Because they are very, very popular again with collectors. And I knew this a little bit because my son, who's in his late 20s, he he would find videotapes, VHS tapes of, say, like Star Wars or something like that from the 70s, the early 80s, and he'd buy them because he collects stuff like that.
Yeah.
But apparently there are VHS copies of certain movies that are going for thousands of dollars.
Wow.
And I want to run any of some of these past you. All right. See, so check your box when you get home.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got some valuable movies in there. Movies like Back to the Future, Fast and Furious.
Don't have those.
Teen Wolf.
Nah.
With Michael J. Fox.
That may not be in my collection.
Gremlins.
My wife was big into that movie. She might have a copy of it.
Those are all selling for about $1,000. Okay.
You got to be kidding me.
No.
Now, are you talking about
we're
already
talking good shape? They got to be in great shape.
Okay. Are they with the plastic already wrapped around them like they were when they were sold? Is that kind of condition?
I mean, it's got to be in good condition. It's got to have the cover. You know, a lot of people might have the tapes, but they don't have the box that it came in.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the tape's got to be in good condition because that tape deteriorates over time.
Yes, it does.
So you got to keep it. You got to keep it safe. Here are some that are going between $1,500 and $2,000. The movie First Blood.
Okay.
Remember with Stallone,
Yeah, Stallone.
Rambo, the very first Rambo movie. Halloween 2, Dumbo, Conan the Barbarian, and Taxi Driver.
Ooh, interesting.
Now, here's one. A copy of The Goonies just sold for $4,000 on eBay.
Goodness gracious.
A VHS copy of A Nightmare on Elm Street went for $5,000. And some Star Wars VHS tapes are going for over $7,000.
Oh my gosh.
Now, because they're not making these anymore, right? Nobody makes VHS movies anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh man.
A lot of people might have them in storage. Hopefully they were kept in a temperate climate and they haven't fallen apart.
Yeah, not in some flooded basement or anything like that.
I think I got rid of all of my VHS tapes years ago. They're just too cumbersome to carry around. It's the same like with the albums and CDs. As much as I love vinyl, it's just a lot to carry around. If you move, you got to take them with you everywhere you go.
That's true. I mean, I have a little bit of everything, I think. I have some CD. I have nowhere near the number of CDs I used to own.
Yeah.
I had piles of those. And the VHS tapes as well. I bet you beta tapes are going for a big time.
Beta, maybe. Yeah.
If you remember beta.
I remember beta.
Yeah.
I also remember laser discs.
Yeah. An uncle who had a laser disc player, and he was like the coolest dude in the world.
Yeah.
And those laser discs were the size of manhole covers.
Yep. And I see them now at like antique stores for like $20-25 a pop.
Yeah.
Which I think is less than what they probably originally sold for, because if you remember, those laser discs were like $70 or $80.
Heck yeah, they were.
I didn't have one. I had a friend who, like you had, or somebody that I knew had one, and they were not cheap.
No,
they had this great laser disc player, and then they had like 3 movies, and that was it.
You know, back in the 70s and 80s when the VCRs first came out, they were selling them for well over $2,000.
Oh, the VCRs.
Yeah, those were
crazy,
super expensive, and people were buying them.
Yeah.
And that would be like $4,000 to $5,000 today.
Yeah, now you find them in the dump.
Yeah,
a lot of them. That's true. All right, well, check those VHS tapes when you get home and get back to me. 937-457-1290. Carol in Kettering. What's up, Carol?
Hey, I was just going to say the one thing, and you're too young, we had elephant bells.
Elephant bells? Were those pants?
The bell bottoms?
Oh, bell bottoms, yeah. But they were called elephant bells? I've never heard them called elephant bells.
They were bigger.
Oh, they were bigger than bell bottoms. Really?
Oh, yes, sir.
Now, I know that back in the, I think in the 90s, skaters, like skateboarders, had these really huge skater pants. They were enormous. Some of them did. But
this is 72.
72. All right. Well, do you still have a pair?
Hell no.
Well, they're coming back. Bell bottoms are coming back. My wife was thinking about buying a pair of bell bottom overalls. Yeah. There you go. All right, Carol. Thanks for your call. Steve in Kettering, what's up? Hey,
Hello.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, yeah, that store at the Dayton Mall, was that called Backracks?
That's exactly where it was. That's what it was. Those were the three that I always hit. Was merry-go-round, Chess King, and Backrack.
Yep.
Yeah.
And on the elephant bells, people would take bell bottoms, then they would split the outer seam and add another panel of fabric to make them flare out even bigger.
Oh, I do remember that. And it was like a contrasting piece of material, right?
You got it.
I think, aren't there, I remember seeing rock stars doing that, like pictures of rock stars that had that. Yeah. There was another store. I mentioned the Chess King, and they had a brand called Cavarici, and they were these pants that had a sort of a snug waist. The waistline was probably like 2 or 3 inches tall, and they fit pretty snugly to you. But then the legs would flare out, and they'd be baggy, and then they would be tapered. And I remember this would have been like 90, and I was at the International College of Broadcasting as a student, and a couple of local radio DJs came in to be interviewed for a little show that we were doing. And one of the DJs was wearing those pants, and I became obsessed with those damn pants. Because I was like, that radio guy, he's got those pants. I want to be in radio. I need those pants.
There were another brand of jeans that didn't last long, but they were called Jordache.
Oh, well, yeah. Jordache were popular because of Brooke Shields.
Yep.
That's right. It was Jordache. Yeah, I think she did all those commercials. All right, man. Yeah. I got to fly, Steve. Thanks for your call.
What am I listening to now?
What is this? The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
Double D. Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
It was Backrack or Backrack, not Backrack. Like, I don't see Backrack. I don't know. Backrack. I also saw when it comes to women's fashion, I saw something on TV the other day that padded shoulders are making a comeback. Sassoon jeans. I remember those. I think those were, I know women wore them. I don't know if they had men's Sassoon jeans. Yeah, I think they are. Where did I see that? It was. Yep, I just looked. They're back. Padded shoulders. Beer.
Beer. I don't know that I don't think I have a Florida woman story in my stack today. Oh. You are a stupid, stupid idiot!
Comes from upbringing. Parents are probably idiots too.
Idiot! Imbecile pig!
Wake up, idiot!
Silly dilly dokio. I'm an idiot. Yeah, that's true.
All right, here's this crazy story. This guy's definitely idiot of the week. Texas high school soccer coach had to resign. His name is J.D. Bales. He put $5,455.81 on a school credit card during a trip. He was going to Houston for a coach's clinic. And I guess he and some of his soccer mates decided to hit a local strip club. And using the school's credit card, he ran up a $5,400 tab at the strip club. So there's the question. What's the dumbest thing you've ever put on a credit card? Let's talk to Jeff and Xenia. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Todd. This is Jeff and Xenia.
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
Hey, you was talking about strange video formats. I've got an RCA player here. Matter of fact, got two of them. They're worth a fortune. That format only lasted a very, very short time. It was a vinyl album that came in a cover. You slid it into the machine. It opened the door and ejected the cover and kept the vinyl record on the inside. And it played video, and it was made by RCA.
Wow.
I think it's called a capacitive discharge system, and it used a very, very fine needle. You couldn't bump it while it's playing. So I've got two players, and I've got one movie, the original Alien.
Oh,
Alien.
wow.
Yeah. And I looked a couple, 3 years ago, and those movies, they did a lot of those albums. They were going between $7,000 and $10,000 a copy.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy! And I bet the movie Alien, very popular. People would love that. Ron, you got something real quick?
I know we got news coming up next, but I just did a quick Google search on that. The RCA Selective Vision CED video disc player. And somebody's selling it for $220 on eBay.
Wow. Well, there you go, Jeff. Chance for you to maybe cash in. Thanks for calling.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Spell it out, punk.
Double D.
H.
Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
No, just to be clear, the soccer coach was going to a coach's clinic. He didn't. It wasn't a school trip to the strip club. It was a. It was a coach's clinic that he was going to. Heather, did you get in trouble for that, or did they just say, "Hey, we can't pay for that. You're going to have to pay us back"? Oh, well, that's good, Heather. At least they were At least they were understanding about it. I remember working with a person who was head of a department, and inadvertently, and I don't know if she bought it in a store or if she bought it online, but she ended up buying a dress for like a fancy dress for some event, and used the company card. And I don't know that she got in trouble for it, but it was certainly embarrassing. I don't have a company card. They don't trust me with that. And honestly, I wouldn't want that responsibility. But here's the thing. It's like $5,000 at a strip club. You just have to wonder, and I think you might be right. I don't know who said it, or somebody commented on it. Yeah, Sabo. Maybe he was just looking to quit. But here's the thing, he had to pay it back. It wasn't like he got away with it. He had to pay the money back, and then he had to resign. So I don't know. It's you wonder, okay, was it a mistake? Right? Did you just pull out the wrong card? Oh no. How much did that cost you, Heather? Yeah, I can imagine if it's like your first time in a fancy hotel that has a mini bar, get dinged for that. Wow, $300 at the mini bar. Would have been cheaper to probably just go to the actual hotel bar. Though you were there for 7 nights. Cutting Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. And here's what we're talking about. We got a lot of things going right now. We're talking about fashion trends that have that from the past that have returning. Jorts are coming back. Very popular. The jeans shorts. Jorts. And Gen Zers are to thank. Also, shoulder pads for women. Those were very popular, I think in the late 80s into the 90s. Those power suits with the shoulder pads. They went away for a while. Now they're coming back. Also, what's the dumbest thing you've ever accidentally or maybe intentionally put on a business credit card? There was a story, and Larry Hanskin talked about this morning on Miami Valley's Morning News. It's a soccer coach from Texas, high school soccer coach, who went to a coaching clinic in Houston. And while he was on his trip, he put $5,455.81 on a school credit card at a strip club. Now, he had to pay the money back. He still resigned. But a couple of questions. One, was this intentional or was this accidental? It certainly could be accidental. But $5,400 at a strip club? Holy cow. Maybe the most I ever spent when I used to go to strip clubs back in the day, $100? But $5,400? That is insane. And the other thing, if it was accidental, you might be able to quickly apologize and pay it back, and there's no harm, no foul. Like somebody on the live stream said that they inadvertently bought some smokes and some vodka with a business card a number of years ago. And as soon as she did it, she realized what she did. She called the office, talked to the CFO, and it was taken care of, took it out of her pay. No worries. No worries, no foul. I worked with somebody who accidentally bought a dress for a gala with a business card. And it was a big deal. Now, they didn't get in trouble for it, but, you got to jump through all these hoops. Maybe you grabbed the wrong card. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I got a call from my bank, Right Pac Credit Union. My credit card was used to buy something in Montana. And they say, hey, did you buy this? Like, no. So they closed my card. They canceled it. So I've had to use, for the last day, another credit card. Now, I don't have a company card. They won't trust me with that. But if I did, I could have grabbed the wrong card, and just used it. And like, oh, man. But I don't know. Do you come back after, if you're a high school soccer coach, dropping $5,400 at a strip club? I just don't think. I don't think they're going to let you get away with it. If you'd spent $5,400 at a Walmart, and you're like, oh, I accidentally I bought a, flat screen TV and all this and all, maybe they'd be okay. But a strip club? Yeah, you're out of here. He did resign, so I don't know if it was a case that he had to resign before he got fired. Who knows? 937-457-1290. Rob in Salina. What's going on, Rob?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Do you remember the hypercolored T-shirts?
I do. Somebody mentioned that on the live stream. It was clothing that would change colors, I guess, as your core temperature raised or rise.
Right.
Yeah.
Big in the 90s.
I do remember that. That was big in the 90s. Also, around that time, there was, and I think it might have even been in the 80s, but for a period of time, really highly fluorescent clothes were popular.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah. I remember that. Also, Coca-Cola clothes. Do you remember that? It just had Coca-Cola on it, but I had a rugby shirt. One of my school pictures that I posted today, since it's National School Picture Day, I'm wearing a blue and white rugby shirt that's got Coca-Cola on the front. That was very popular then.
Yeah, and jerseys.
Oh yeah, jerseys for sure, for sure. Thanks for your call, man.
And then,
go ahead.
The
Go
other
ahead.
one was Levi buttonfly jeans.
Well, that was the original 501s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those. See, I mentioned this last hour. I was always a chunky, chubby kid, so I could never get Levi's to fit the right way. And my mom always put me in Huskies. You remember Toughskins and Huskies?
I remember Huskies. Yeah.
That was. I always said if I ever wrote a book about my childhood, it would be titled "My Mom Dressed Me in Huskies." So. All right, I appreciate your call, Rob. Let's talk to Steven in Xenia. What's up, Steven?
Hey, when I was in Panama in 2003, and the president came to visit us at our base camp. I was with the Army, and she had Sean Connery with her. And I happened to have 2 VHS movies with me, The Hunt for Red October and The Rock.
Oh.
And I have them both signed by him.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Now, see, those are going to be worth more because it's Sean Connery's signature, and he's, of course, no longer with us.
Yes. He was more popular than the president was coming to visit us.
So who was it? You said 2003, then you said she. Who were you talking about?
The president of Panama.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the American. Yeah. I was like, what are you? Who? What? I missed it.
That would have been George Bush.
Yeah, I got you. All right, Steven, I appreciate your call. Let's talk to Andrew in Kettering. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, all right. So I don't know if anybody mentioned it yet, but Jinko jeans.
What were they called?
Jinko.
I don't remember those. When were those popular? 90s, 80s?
Late 90s, mid to late 90s. Big, like the skater kids wore them.
Oh, are those the ones that were like really big and wide? The wide,
yeah, super bell bottom.
So I did mention those last hour. I just didn't know that they had. I didn't know that was the name. I think one of my brother-in-law was a skater back then, and I saw a picture of him wearing those.
Yeah, I wore them too. It's crazy.
How could you? I always wanted to. How could you actually skate with those on? It just seems like impossible.
Really couldn't, and you couldn't step through a puddle neither.
Well, that between the pants and usually they were wearing chains too, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like a chain wallet, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Crazy. But I would imagine that'll come back at some point.
Oh, I hope not. So I had that, and then I had a crazy charge story.
Yeah, let's hear it.
This was me. Unfortunately, I won't mention the company, but I was 18 years old. They sent me to Columbus for a week of training.
Okay.
And in the hotel, there was a Bennigan's restaurant. And at 18, I looked 25.
Okay.
And there was a bar there. I started drinking.
Yeah.
And went to get a steak dinner, and they said, "Do you want to charge it to your room?" I was like, "Well, sure."
Right.
Well, they charged the whole thing. So I charged like 7 days of drinks.
Ooh.
That was the beginning of my end at that company.
So that kind of instigated your exit then.
Yeah, right out of the gate.
Wow.
Now, but did they me then? But I had to pay it back.
That's the problem. It's like, here's the thing: if you pay it back, I feel like it should be null and void. Right? Like maybe you made a mistake. You just didn't know, and you were young, and you paid it back. All right. You're just never going to do that again. And we're never going to give you a company card.
Yeah. Never. Yeah.
Right. But you should get a pass. Get a pass.
I did get a pass. Yeah.
Okay.
They did give me a pass.
Good. All right.
Well, thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Andrew. Take care, man. That line's open, 937-457-1290.
What am I listening to now?
What is this? The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
T-O.
Double D.
H.
Oh.
Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
Yeah, I like I said, I don't have a company card, and lots of times people in my position do. And I don't know if it's because like when you not everywhere, but some companies, some corporations, when you apply for a job, um, they do background checks on you and they also run your credit. And when I started working here, I didn't have the best credit. I was way behind on many bills. I'm much, much better now. But I've often wondered, it's like, you know, because I was hired into a position where having a company card would not necessarily be unheard of. But, you know, we said, nope, we're not going to give that guy a card. Skorts. I remember those. I think my sister might have had Skorts. You know what? And we've talked about this. It's not unheard of, but the mullet is back, and I was introduced to somebody yesterday who is coming to work at the station, and he has a mullet, and that's like the first mullet I've seen up close in a long time. I've seen pictures of it, and we talk about it on the show, and maybe you see it from a distance, somebody walking down the street or, at Kroger or whatever, but and it was impressive. It's an impressive mullet. Oh yeah, leisure shoots, Captain Scurvy. No thanks. I always think of Herb Tarlick, WKRP in Cincinnati, or Mr. Furley. Remember, was it Furley? Yeah, Mr. Furley and Three's Company. After the Ropers moved away. Don Knotts. Oh, yeah, neon puffy pants. Oh, Leisure Suit Larry. That's right, the game. I mentioned a little bit earlier, somebody talked about Ocean Pacific. J.C. Penney had some Ocean Pacific and in big sizes. They had it in like regular sizes, but they had it in big sizes. But I will tell you, didn't think the quality was as good as I remember them being. Maybe my memory is off, but they seem to be not the quality. And I didn't particularly care for the designs. I thought about buying one, but I just couldn't pull the trigger. I guess I'm getting older and not willing to spend the money like that. Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday from 5 to 7. 937-457-1290, talking about crazy things that you may have inadvertently put on your business credit card. Story of a soccer coach, high school soccer coach in Texas, ran up $5,455.81 on a school credit card at a strip club. Busted. And, of course, fashion trends that are coming back, like jorts. Very, very popular again. Jean shorts. I think I had a pair, but they are popular again. You know who used to wear jorts all the time, and I've seen him recently in jorts in the last few years? Jeremy Ratliff from Miami Valley's Morning News. He is a longtime jort lover. Terry in Beaver Creek. What's up, Terry?
Hey, I was calling to talk about things charged on credit cards.
Yeah, so what did you inadvertently or maybe intentionally? Was it intentional?
It wasn't me, but I used to reconcile the credit cards for our company's office.
Okay.
And I was reconciling one of the credit cards one week, and there was a charge for several $1,000s on one of the staff's cards. And I called the staff up and I asked them, and they're like, no, I didn't do that. I said, well, it was for this amount at this place. And it was dead silence for a little bit. And I'm like, hello?
Wasn't Hustler Hollywood, was it?
No, but they were like, oh my gosh, they had some cosmetic surgery done.
Oh.
And for it with that card. And they had another credit card that looked just like it. It was the same company, only it was their personal card.
Right.
And they got the two mixed up. And they were totally, completely mortified because nobody knew.
Yeah. But
what
see,
they had done. They had taken vacation. And so I just called corporate and they said, write a check, and they did and got it all, but they were totally, completely mortified.
Yeah, because
they had done that.
That seems like such a easy mistake to make. And it's like, if you catch it and you own up to it. But this guy in Texas, I wonder, it's like,
that doesn't make a lot of sense, but maybe he was drinking a little bit along with the visit, and he wasn't paying attention to the card he had.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the math in my head. That's a lot of lap dances. I mean, I don't know.
Yes, it is.
I don't know
a lot of alcohol.
I don't know how much a lap dance goes these days. It's been a while, but
never been to a strip club, but no.
But that's a lot of dough. Thanks, Terry.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Heather, my 83-year-old mother wears Hey Dudes. She loves slipping them on. Now there you go. There's a fashion trend. I appreciate some slip-on shoes. Sometimes on the weekends, I just wear flip-flops, wherever I go. I usually wear shorts on some occasions, but lots of times I just wear my jeans and a t-shirt and my flip-flops. I did have a pair of they weren't Hey Dudes, they were rip-off Hey Dudes, imposter Hey Dudes. and didn't really care for him. I didn't find him terribly comfortable. Pop me up. Pop me up. Jason, do you need a life preserver? Throw him a line for crying out loud. That's hysterical. Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7, talking about fashion trends from the past that have come back to haunt us, like jorts. Apparently, Gen Zers are responsible for the return of jorts. Denim jean shorts that come below your knee in some instances. Also, shoulder pads for women's clothing are coming back. I haven't seen anybody in the office with shoulder pads yet, but maybe I will soon. Ohio is kind of slow when it comes to hopping on the fashion trend bandwagon. Usually starts on the coast and then moves into the middle. One shoe that's very popular now, Hey Dudes. Hey Dudes. And, you know, a couple of years ago, I saw somebody wearing like, oh, those look great. Those are comfort, you know. And now they're all over the place. And my 83-year-old mother wears Hey Dudes, which is an indication that they probably won't be popular that much longer. Because that's usually what happens. It's like it's popular with the young kids, right? And then as the older folks get into it and start hopping on that bandwagon, then the popularity starts to wane a little bit, at least with the young people. Anyway, Parker Testa is here. He's got some traffic.
Yes, still seeing about 10 to 15-minute delays on northbound 75. That left contraflow lane still blocked just past Dixie Drive, so you can get off at Austin Boulevard, take 741 north up to, or take 741 north all the way up to I-75, and you can re-enter I-75 from 741 in Moraine.
Thank you very much, Parker. I appreciate it. 937-457-1290. Mike in South Vienna. What's up, Mike?
Oh, Todd, been listening for a while. Really enjoy the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So I'm a baby boomer.
Okay.
And I got some fads that I think are probably not returning soon. I have two for the ladies and two for the guys.
All right, let's hear them.
One is poodle skirts.
Yeah, poodle
and
skirts.
Another one is that I remember my sisters wearing multicolored, I think they called them petticoats under their skirts, and they would wear them in layers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so a lot of pastels and for the guys, leisure suits.
Oh, yes, leisure suits. I think Jason Michaels had 3 or 4 of those. Oh, yeah.
I had one.
Well, somebody brought that up on the live stream, and the leisure suits that come to my mind immediately is Mr. Furley on Three's Company, played by Don Knotts. He used to wear a leisure suit, and Herb Tarlick from WKRP. He used to wear leisure suits. I don't know if my dad ever had a leisure suit. I don't think so.
So another one that was two haircut styles for the guys were the flat top and ducks, where they really greased it up and combed them straight back on the sides.
Oh, kind of like feathered back into a D. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The crew cuts I could see coming back. I see people from time to time, even younger people that have crew cuts. But
the crew cut and the flat top were a little different, Todd. The flat top was a short haircut that actually was flat on the top.
That makes sense, right? I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. All right.
Yeah, but I don't think any of those will be coming back anytime soon.
I wouldn't mind seeing the poodle skirt return. Why not? Just for old time's sake.
And the saddle shoes.
Oh, and saddle shoes. Sure. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate your call. 937-457-1290. Let's see here.
Jason, are you down there?
Here I am.
It looked like you had a comment. Did you get your seat or chair situation fixed?
For the moment. We'll see how long it lasts.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, no, on the leisure suit thing, my very first publicity photo in a radio station was me in a leisure suit.
Wow.
I still have it at home.
Now, is that was it like a mint green?
No, it was kind of a brownish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought I remember seeing an older picture of you where you were wearing something like that, but it was mint green.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
remember a green
Okay.
one, but
All right.
anything's possible, though.
Well, okay. Yeah, I guess.
In 50 years,
right. No,
I
I
could
got
warn
you.
anything.
Yeah. But see, today is National School Picture Day.
Oh, okay.
And just for fun, I put up all of my school pictures, K through 12. And I had a couple of people comment on the fashions, and I don't remember at what point when I started dressing myself, like choosing the fashions that I would wear.
Right.
I mean, my mom was always pretty cool about letting me pick out certain things if we went to the store, but it wasn't like, here's the credit card, go nuts and buy whatever you want.
Yeah,
it was like, you can choose from these 3 shirts, right?
Yeah,
you
right.
can have this one, or you can have this one, or you could have this one. Right?
I usually in the wintertime, I wore my school jacket and, to school. And then typically it was like slacks or jeans or something like that.
But a couple of the pictures that do stand out from my class photos, and you can see them on my Facebook if you're even remotely interested.
Right.
I'm wearing a light blue T-shirt that has a Star Wars thing on the front, which of course was very popular back when I was in elementary school in the 70s. There's one where I'm wearing a mesh light mesh shirt that has a Kawasaki motorcycle logo.
Yeah, those were cool back then.
Yeah, very popular. And then I've just mentioned not long ago, there's a rugby shirt that has Coca-Cola on it, because remember in the 80s, Coca-Cola came out with their own line of clothes,
right,
which was new. But probably my favorite has to be the cowboy vest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cowboy vest. And if I recall, I had the whole outfit, and it was like a dark hunter green, and it was the white gingham, white and green sort of shirt, striped shirt, very Western looking, with the silver buttons, right?
Right.
The snaps, and then the vest. And you don't see it, but I know for a fact I was wearing green corduroys and cowboy boots.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Very nice. All right, we got some food news to talk about.
Well, what's your favorite food?
Don't play with your food.
Don't play with your food.
How you get so big that you own a this kind?
Well, and it has to do with
Pumpkin spice donuts.
Oh my gosh. That time of the year. I may bring this up again tomorrow night, but Google did they do this Google Trends thing. And the idea with Google Trends is they, in these instances, they sort of take a look at what different states throughout the country are Googling on a particular subject. And they try to find like the most popular. So in this case, they were looking to see what is the most popular pumpkin spice item in each state. All right. So I thought, okay, well, let's print out the map and take a look at this. Now, some of these are going to be pretty obvious. For example, in West Virginia, pumpkin spice donut, very popular. In New York, pumpkin spice pudding. All right. Let's see. Down in Georgia, pumpkin spice empanadas. Okay. Pumpkin spice roll, popular in Florida. Out west, pumpkin spice Cheerios, very popular in Utah. Nevada, pumpkin spice Oreos. Now that sounds pretty good. California, pumpkin spice red vines. Now that's, I think, licorice, if I'm not mistaken. Aren't red vines licorice? I think so. I don't know about this one. Arizona, pumpkin spice Spam. That doesn't sound good at all. Let's see. In Montana, pumpkin spice strudel. Okay. And then, let's see, way out west or up in the Pacific Northwest, let's go to Idaho, pumpkin spice Rice Krispie treat. Now, you might be asking, what about Ohio? What about Ohio, our very own Buckeye State? I've never seen these before. My wife loves pumpkin spice. So you would have thought that I would have been aware or at least seen it. pumpkin spice goldfish crackers. Have you seen pumpkin spice goldfish crackers? Now, goldfish crackers are from Ohio, but I didn't know that they made pumpkin spice goldfish crackers. Interesting. Let's see. Pumpkin spice cream cheese, popular in Indiana. Pumpkin spice pudding in Michigan. And that's just kind of interesting. In Hawaii, it's pumpkin spice dump cake. I don't know what dump cake is. Dump cake. Oh, here we go. Dump cakes are the perfect lazy weekend baking recipe. And a 9x13 pan full of fall flavor will go a lot further. Well, that doesn't tell me anything. It just must be some sort of like maybe a cupcake, or not a cupcake, but like a crumb cake. I'm not sure. But there you go. Run out and get yourself some pumpkin spice goldfish crackers.
What am I listening to now? What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
Double D.
Double L. S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
We are no question about it, Captain Scurvy, a cracker hotbed. Woohoo! Susan, that's exactly the way my wife is. She's not a fan of pumpkin pie. She says, and I get it. It's like too powerful, too overpowering. Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Wrapping up the show with some breaking the law news. So this is out of California. California Highway Patrol says one of their officers busted somebody for DUI. Officer was driving down the road and noticed a man riding a horse with an open container of booze on the back of his bucking Bronco. Pulled him over, and the guy was impaired. And the rules of the road apply not only to vehicles, but also apparently horses. So he was arrested, taken to jail for DUI, and the horse was returned home safely. Now, I guess somebody probably had to wait until someone came to pick up the horse. Do you ride him back? Do you throw him in the back of a trailer? I don't know. But there you go. Don't be riding your horse drunk. Well, there you go. There's the show. Thank you very much for listening. I always appreciate all the great calls and all the folks watching on the live stream. And even if you don't call or you don't watch on the live stream, I appreciate you listening. You can always shoot me an email, eveningedgetodd@gmail.com, or on social media @eveningedgetodd. Have a terrific Thursday night, and we'll see you tomorrow just after 5 here on the Evening Edge. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a terrific Thursday night. It's a beautiful night here in Dayton. Enjoy yourselves. Maybe you get outside and relax on the patio or deck for a little bit. Have a great night and be safe.